Shalom, this is Rabbi Malachim Yaskowitz of the BHI Terror Watch. The Jewish people of the world are unique people. Throughout history, the chronicles of the Jewish people have yielded and unlocked the truths of the exposition of this unique group of people. From this lineage comes some of the great prophets, some of the great teachers, revs, cultural leaders, standard setters, and many of the people responsible for the way you live today. The Jewish people come from all walks of life and have influenced global culture not by conquest, but by obligation to be a light unto the world, according to our father Moses and to our good. The Jewish people of the world have always realized that we have obligations beyond the shtetl or the neighborhood, and through use of the blessings of our good, we have proven through actions, not through words, to be a light unto the world. The Jewish race and the Jewish religion has been a beacon, a standard setter to all peoples around the world. It is undoubted that no group of people throughout history has contributed more to the fabric of society than the Jewish people. We have worked very hard over the thousands of years to fulfill the notion, to fulfill the prophecy that we are, as the Jewish people, that peculiar, chosen people, according to Torah. Through our contributions, we have built the foundation of civilization, the foundation of morality, the foundation of bringing the education based on the principles taught to us through the Torah by our God. And we do this not with arrogance, not with belief that we are better than any other race or any other nation of people, but we do it through the humility that we are chosen, not to say that we're better than anybody else, but to say that we have a greater responsibility than any other peoples. It is a burden, but a burden that we as a people have taken upon ourselves, and with extreme discipline and extreme application have used to be a beacon unto the world and the standard setters to humanity. From our foundations through our father Abram, to the foundation of our nation, from the promised land that was given unto the seeds of Jacob by God, the land of milk and honey, Yashral, to the great kings, rulers, and leaders, names like David, Solomon, Dov, Shalom, Esther, throughout history of antiquity and history of recent. Right unto and through the ages, building great nations, conquering the commercial realm, being world conquerors of commerce, building great nations, rebuilding our own land, the land of milk and honey. From the foundation, the refoundation of Yashral in 1948, and the metamorphosis of the nation as a world leader in all things modern, as well as the spiritual epicenter of the planet, not just through the people of the shtetl, but also all faiths, as a beacon to all people. We are leaders not because we say so. We are leaders because of the responsibilities given to us by the Almighty God. And so, it often disheartens us and our legacy when we see many people, not of our nation, of our heritage, wanting to steal the legacy, the heritage, and attempt through blasphemy to invalidate the great recorded culture of this peculiar people. I only say that we, as the Jewish nation, are disheartened by the attempts of several individuals over recent history to discredit the obvious contributions of the peculiar people even to discredit the persecution, both through antiquity and leading to today, the discredit of the diaspora of this nation, the diaspora to all nations, it's disheartening that so many people want to even take the persecution of this people in vain, so that they may claim the blessings that was only given to one people, while sacrificing their own blessings. The stealing of the birthright that was given unto Jacob can be evidenced in numerous organizations, numerous groups, numerous people. That nation we create organizations that sustain our community. Those that claim our birthright falsely have, over many years, claimed to have their own businesses, their own organizations, their own outposts that sustain their communities. But they've made very little impact. With the many factions of those that I can and I have confidently said are imposters. It's quite evident through the lack of development of their intercommunity organizations, the ineffective use of members' contributions, member offerings to fund not the building of a nation, as some of their leaders love to say, but the building of these leaders' bank accounts so that they can live lavishly. By comparison, the Jewish race's contributions, both inside our neighborhoods and outside our neighborhoods to the greater human community, cannot be denied, cannot be disproven. And I can confidently ask you, the viewing audience, compare the contributions of the Jewish people unto the greater humanity versus the contributions of the BLACK Hebrew Israelites, the GMS, the ISUPK, the IUIC. These selfish organizations over 20, 30, 40, 50 years aim to their own people, aim to create a so-called better life for their peoples through development of their own community organizations and community services. But by the fruits you will know them. What is the fruit of these BLACK Hebrew Israelite organizations beyond ministry? They claim in many of their videos talking about black development, black supermarkets, black hardware stores, black restaurants, and thriving black neighborhoods. But what do you see when you turn on the news? Do you see these men as the leaders of the community? Absolutely not. They take second, third, fourth fiddle to the same reprehensible, blasphemous black leaders, Jacksons, Jesse Jacksons, Al Sharptons, even the black Islamic fascists of the Nation of Islam, the so-called Nation of Islam, which is not even real Islam. You could walk through the streets of any black neighborhood in the United States, and you won't notice a black grocery store or a black hair care company, because these black religious leaders of the GMS, of the ISUPK, the contributions, the tithes that they are given by their gullible followers, these men live lavishly. These henchmen constitute a mafia-like religious fraud, not unlike other false leaders, including unfaithful rabbis in our own Jewish community, in the real Jewish community. By contrast, go to most Jewish neighborhoods, especially Orthodox Jewish neighborhoods, but generally throughout the majority, if not every, predominantly Jewish neighborhood in the United States, in North America, in the Holy Land of Yisrael, Israel, generally around the world, you see thriving Jewish community centers. You see kosher grocery stores. You see Jewish clothing stores, Jewish hardware stores. You see the proof in the Jewish community. But in the black community, you're going to see blight, despair, and the only organizations that thrive are the church organizations that may do limited humanitarian services, but the bulk of the money goes to feed the bellies of these incompetent religious leaders. I'm talking to you, demanding General Gehenna. I'm talking to you, Elder Tahar. I'm talking to you, so-called Bishop Nathaniel. I'm talking to you, Zabak. I'm talking to you, so-called Chief Priest Ban Lawyer, Alazar Ban Lawyer of the so-called Sicarii. How dare you use the name of the freedom fighters of Yisrael for your vain organizations. You are those who say that they are Yisrael and do lie. You are not the chosen seed. You're just a bunch of hip-hopping imposters trying to make a community organization not unlike many of your predecessors. And through that you are committing an act of terrorism. And you're drawing people away from the order authorized by the God of heaven and earth. You are not the Jew. You are clearly not the Jew by your fruits. You could never be Yashra. You gave up the blessing authorized by the Most High God as Gentiles, which you are. To have the chance to be called the chosen, of which you're not. You believe through incorrect lineage that you are the men of Yashra, which you're not. Well, I have this warning to you. You, every one of you, if you do not re-honor and return the honor of who truly is Yashra back to the people of Yashra, you will be judged and you will have to pay, and you will pay. So I have aimed to take birthright to their own vanity and use it to gain sympathy, support to the gullible, to make themselves the children of birthright. But as we know, and as you have witnessed, those who know and those who are followers of this channel and similar channels, know that the results of these certain enterprises have been exposed. And have continued to be exposed. They talk, but the words never justify their actions. Whereas we, the Jewish people, what we say that we want a nation unto ourselves, we get